I'm listening to NAPD. Sounds like it could be an active shooter situation.
12 hours of chaos.
There's no reports of any type of confrontation or any type of dispute that would have brought this about.
1 dead, another 5 hurt in a shooting at a New Albany warehouse. Hours later, an arrest in Columbus.
Just shouted, just raise your hand, and they just handcuffed them. And police just took the suspect away.
Tonight's big question, why?
I'm not sure how close to the end of a shift he was at, because I'm not sure what a shift was, but he had been here for several hours before this shooting happened.
ABC6 News at 5 on your side starts now.
It's a weather alert day. We're tracking freezing rain tonight. This is video from Mobile Track. We will have updates throughout the night. Make sure to stick with us for the very latest. But first tonight, we are following that workplace shooting in New Albany.
The man who police say pulled the trigger is under arrest and talking with investigators. We have new video from Drone Track 6 over New Albany. This is the building that houses KDC One, a cosmetics company.
Tonight, the suspect is now in custody. Investigators have spent the day gathering evidence from his apartment. The latest on the victims: 1 person was killed, 5 others were hurt. At this point, investigators still have not released a possible motive. We want to show you a picture of the suspect. This is Bruce Foster III. He was arrested at his apartment in the university about 12 hours after the shooting. We have a lot of information to share with you tonight. Our team coverage begins with Kate Seifert, who's live at the New Albany Police Station. And Kate, I know investigators just spoke within the past hour. What exactly did you learn?
Rodney, Jessica, that news conference wrapping up just about 30 minutes ago. What happened here inside this village hall behind me, we did learn a little bit about the victim. So as you mentioned, there has been 1 victim who has died during this incident. 5 other victims were injured during this incident. Still waiting for an update on the condition of those 5 victims that were all taken to the hospital. We did, however, learn a little bit more about the suspect in this case, Bruce Foster. He is 28 years old. Law enforcement officials tell us he was employee at this warehouse. And as you heard Jessica mention there at the top, what we learned from officers was that he was in that facility and working for several hours before he opened fire. Let's take you back to some video from that scene. Our team was there just around 11 o'clock last night when things were really beginning to escalate. Law enforcement says about 100 first responders from city, county, state, and federal agencies all played a part in this response overnight and into Wednesday morning. Law enforcement officials now revealing to us that they believe the suspect ended up leaving in a rideshare vehicle from the warehouse last night after opening fire. Now, once officers arrived, they described launching a manhunt to try to track down Foster, which they did, as you know, at an apartment in the Columbus area. Now, one aspect of this incident that we are still waiting to get more information and clarity on is a motive. Throughout the last 20 hours, we have been told that this was a targeted shooting. We pressed law enforcement about who that target was. Here's how they responded.
It's not that we don't have a clear motive. I think that we're learning more about him and maybe some of his thoughts, that we are trying to develop a motive. We need to go through and find out, like, where's his workstation compared to the other people's. So I don't know that we have a clear idea on that. I think there are obviously leads we're tracking down in that area, but nothing definitive that I can.
An ATF special agent was here, and we learned more about the weapon that Foster used. We know that he bought that gun back in September. They say he lawfully purchased the firearm. The ATF agent says it was a Glock Model 25 pistol, which he says can hold 10 rounds typically, but it can also hold a Glock magazine, which can hold up to 30 rounds. Now, coming up at 5:30, what we're hearing from police officials as far as a confrontation between the suspect and one of the victims inside that facility. We asked about some of the moments we heard on a 911 call about that possible confrontation. We're going to try to dive into that more for you in our next half hour. For now, live on your side, I'm Kate Seifert, ABC6 News.
All right, thank you, Kate. And tonight's team coverage continues with new information on that suspect, Bruce Foster III. Steve Labine has been following that side of the story in the University District throughout the day. Steve.
Police say that the arrest happened here in this University District apartment this morning. Authorities say when they could not get into an apartment, they deployed a taser when the suspect refused orders to come out. And tonight I am talking with a neighbor who watched the entire arrest go down.
That's crazy, just like the suspect just leave next to you. I think that's crazy, yeah.
Ohio State University student Kyle telling us he was studying in his second-floor University District apartment Wednesday morning when he heard yelling outside in the hallway.
The police just shouted, just raise your hand, and they just handcuffed them. And police just took to the suspect away.
He surrendered quietly?
Yes.
That suspect police arrested, 28-year-old Bruce Foster III, now charged with murder in Tuesday night's deadly warehouse shooting in New Albany. Luke telling us Foster had been living in a one-bedroom apartment next to him for several months. Have you had any previous conversations with him? What was he like while he was living next door?
No, but one of my friends have seen the suspect before when studying in a study room. But we did not have conversation to him. An
apartment resident sending us this photo of the U.S. Marshal Service outside the apartment building shortly before they took Foster into custody.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, we come here pretty often, so that's pretty crazy.
And our cameras were there in North Columbus early Wednesday morning when police searched an apartment complex for Foster, but unable to find him. We've learned Foster graduated from Brookhaven High School in 2014 and then graduated from Columbus State Community College in 2019 with an Associate of Arts degree. Shortly after Foster's arrest, Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations and New Albany Police removing evidence bags from the building. A chaotic scene this Ohio State student will never forget.
It's kind of crazy to us because, a suspect, a very dangerous suspect, just leave next to your door. That's terrible,
We did check Foster's court history. No other criminal charges have been filed, but he does have several traffic misdemeanors. We're live in the University District. Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
And we're getting those horrifying calls for help from inside that New Albany warehouse. We do need to warn you here. This might be hard to listen to.
We've been shot at KDC, Albany One.
Okay, where's the shooter?
Shooter is still inside the building. I've been shot on my neck. And my wet body is on the floor, but I took the gun away from the gun.
Gut-wrenching to hear, and we are now learning more about the victims. Jeremiah Wilcox is live at Mount Carmel East with the latest.
Yeah, Jessica, I've been here at the hospital pretty much all day, and I've been seeing some of the family members walk into this hospital with fear and worry on their face, not sure if a family member has lived or died. I spoke to one family member who says the male victim is in critical condition fighting for his life.
This is a quiet area. I don't know why this would happen around here, honestly. So it's unbelievable.
A community in shock. All day today, families rushing to Mount Carmel East Hospital dealing with loved ones who are injured. I spoke to some family members of the victims who say majority of people shot were from Nepal. Family tell me 3 victims are injured but expected to survive. Another has serious injuries. The neighbors I spoke to say they're trying to wrap their heads around this tragedy.
How this kind of thing could have happened is totally scary. How did somebody get into a warehouse with a gun? I mean, yeah, I think it's scary for the community of New Albany. Very frightening.
Now, I was told that one of the victims here was actually shot in the hand, and they are expected to be okay. And we are learning the names of the victims. We're still waiting for authorities to confirm that, and we'll definitely keep you updated with the latest on air and online. Live on your side, I'm Jeremiah Wilcox.
We are posting new updates on this shooting. You can find the latest on the ABC 6 app and sign up for breaking news alerts so you know when news happens.